everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1057. Directed by Nanami Michibata from her and Satoshi Ito's board and supervised by Kenji Yokoyama. For Michibata's next major episode, she definitely is more concerned with bringing forth much more classic One Piece-like direction when it comes to colors and such, which are no doubt aided by series director Ito's board too, but it all still looks injected with the more modern direction that we usually see on the show, combined with some extensions that will no doubt delve further into Sanji's inner turmoil. Hopefully this should yet be another solid to strong episode from an up-and-coming director as we progress further into Sanji's fight with Queen. This episode covers the remainder of chapter 1031, and while it stays relatively close to the manga, with not much really being changed in terms of moving to point A from point B general structure-wise, but there's a lot of little added stuff that helps add to certain moments, like seeing Drake and Apu actually fight a bit before Yamato barges in, and what Sanji's point of view is for when he supposedly smacks the woman in front of him as he gets visions of Germa and Queen in his head that helps add to his despair. It's not like massively extensive filler that makes the content something completely different from what it was originally, but it adds some meat to the bones of the overall chapter regardless and strengthens it all the same, and that's appreciated. And for once I don't really mind the usage of flashbacks, as the ones that they use here highlight Luffy and Sanji's bonds that aren't used very often, and help more subtly get into Sanji's line of thinking for destroying the suit. All in all, a really solid adaptation for an already good chapter. Michibata's half is most likely consolidated in the A part of the episode, and her colors and overall lighting surprised even me despite knowing how she works, as they looked super polished around every corner and with really competent boarding when it came to cut flow and just general compositions, with Sanji's inner freakout cutting to his memories with Germa being my personal favorite showing here. The B part on the other hand seems to be mainly handled by main series director Satoshi Ito, and while it's not as bombastic in parts as Michibata's A part, since he kinda has greater responsibilities to attend to, it's got some cool ideas all the same as well that make it look pretty interesting and very above average when it's needed to, and that's really all that's needed in my book. Ending it all with Sanji's Hell Memories animated by Chris YNBM that does have a bit of a different and more ambitious look at the attack, instead of it just being a splash spread of Sanji doing a big kick again, and it has some sick line art to boot. There's nothing knock your socks off level about this episode, but I thoroughly enjoyed the efforts on display that far exceeded my expectations. And it'll be interesting to see if tiny bit more weaker content next week can manage to keep up with episode 1058. Director Sho Inuzuka looks as if he's trying to follow what Matsui set forth in 1056, so I'm interested in seeing if I end up feeling the same way about it. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and hooray for Recompt Whole Cake Island instead of just old footage.